All right, what's going on, everybody? Hope everyone is doing well. It's been a long time since I've posted a video on this channel, and there's a reason for that. And I'm going to get into that today. It's going to be a very honest discussion, so let's just get right into it. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Joey, and I am a Christian, but I am far from a perfect man. I am a broken sinner in desperate need of a savior. I know that's kind of a popular thing to say in the Christian world, but for me, I've really learned how true that is in my life, especially over the past year or so. So, how I want to start this, let's talk about why I haven't been uploading videos. I think when I started this YouTube channel, I was very like half in, half out with the Lord, and I felt like this was almost like a therapy session for me because I knew deep down I wasn't living the life I needed to, but I wanted to lead others. But how can you lead someone to Jesus when you're not consistently following Jesus? So I took some time away and I had to work on my faith and work on the man I want to be. But over the past year or so, I spent a lot of time outside of the past few months where I've been getting back on track. But before that, I was spending a lot of time just living a worldly lifestyle. I was going out almost every weekend and drinking, and just making decisions I didn't need to be making. The life I was living, it wasn't like a lot of people in this world would hear the way I was living and they'd be like, oh, whatever. Like you're a guy in your late 20s, live it up. It doesn't matter. Like you're not doing anything crazy. But as a Christian, we're called to be set apart and the road is narrow. I remember one night I got home from drinking and I was very drunk. We're being honest here. This isn't your basic church service thing. Like we're being honest. I was very drunk. I just stumbled home. I was all alone in my apartment. And I remember looking in the mirror and then going to sleep that night and just not knowing the man I was. I've always been a man who is a Christian, but that night I didn't know who I was. I'd spent so much time just with this half in, half out lifestyle where I'd talk about Jesus one day and then get drunk the other, party the other, focusing on, chasing things in this world. I didn't know who I was. And I remember asking myself that night, if I died tonight, would I go to heaven? And that's a dang scary question when you don't know the answer. And that reality is we could die at any second. I knew I needed to get my life back on track, but I didn't get my life back on track immediately after that. I continued to live, in sin, just doing things I didn't need to be doing. And that's why I stopped making YouTube videos because I was like, well, I can't be doing this while I'm sinning. Like, why am I talking about Jesus to people when I'm getting drunk every weekend and making dumb decisions? So I took some time away. I'm happy to say over the past few months, I've stopped living that kind of lifestyle. Do I still drink? Sure, but I'm not going out every weekend and getting drunk and just making bad decisions. I've been reading my Bible more, praying every second I can, and just knowing like I need Jesus. And I think everyone has a void in their heart, and we all try to fill that void with things, whatever it is. It can be drinking, it can be your girlfriend or boyfriend, it can be family. Some of those things are good, some of those things aren't great, but the only thing that can truly satisfy your soul, it really is Jesus. Because nothing in this life is guaranteed. I love my family, but I've lost family members. You know, I've had people walk out of my life. I've had friends walk out of my life. Drinking sure doesn't fill my voids. It might put a band-aid on it for a night, but it don't fill it. The only one that can fill that is Jesus. That's the everlasting joy. And I've learned that, man. I've learned that. And I've always heard that. You grow up and going to church or going to Bible studies and you hear things like that and it sounds all nice and pretty, but until you're really in the fire and you think about it and you listen to it and you're scared and you're anxious, and I've been there. I've had those thoughts. I mean, it's tough. It's tough. It's just living in this world. It can be very difficult, but we literally have a how-to book. That's the Bible. We literally have a leader to follow. That's Jesus. Doesn't mean things are going to be easier, but it means you have a game plan. You have a coach. I wanted to just get back on here and just share that with y'all. I'm sure some of you can relate, and I'm gonna try to start making videos again. That'd be cool. I've been busy with life. Life is crazy, but I want to be on here. I want to help lead others to Christ. And I want to, in my own personal life, just continue to live for Jesus, give him everything I have because he saved my life. I think that about does it. Um, if you ever want to reach out to me, please do. I'm happy to talk about any of this stuff and just talk about Jesus because we all need to. Anyway, y'all take care, and I'll see you guys next time.